pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome everybody to the May meeting. Let's see here. Let's get to the page. We just had our one of our budget workshops about 2 hours before we last 2 hours before we started our meeting here. Okay, let's go. We got conflict of interest statements in the binders. We need public comments. You got any signed up?
One moment.
All right, we got Jennifer Murphy. Yeah, you can get right here.
Peakville Festival Committee is planning our Christmas on the Hill celebration. It'll be December 6th, 3 to 7 p.m. At the recommendation of several community people and the festival committee, we would like to ask the town board permission to block Central Avenue from East Clay to East College on December 6th from 1 to 3. We'd also like to request Walnut Street between Pine and Central from 12 to 3. We'd also ask for an endorsement from the town of board of Peakville to provide the state DOT to close Broadway Street from Pine to 241 from 12:30 to 3. Giving us time with this time to shut down will make it safe to set up the number of vendors. We already have a large number of vendors who are wanting to come. We are hoping to provide a tent. We are also making sure that we keep Pine Street open for the fire department to be able to have their annual dinner, which is that evening.
So we're going back to Christmas on Broadway this year.
They requested we put it back on Broadway Street, so it was downtown.
Are you sure of those times? Are they really from 12 to 3, or is it you want to close at 12 and reopen at a later time?
Where we open, it's just that time so that we can set up vendors, and we are hoping to distribute the vendor setup so that the businesses can be as free and open as long as possible. So we'll start in front of Tower 110 and the Peakville Library because they're not affected at all, and then work down towards the businesses as they close. We want to make sure Relo is available till 2 o'clock when they close, and that the other shops that close at 2 and 3, there will be some access to them. Even if they can't get on Broadway, they can get around through the other streets. The sidewalks, of course, will be open the entire time. I have maps if you want.
The only time,
So,
I'm sorry,
okay.
the only time the festival is going to be contained just on Broadway?
No, the festival will also possibly be on Central, possibly.
So you need Central closed at
Yes.
a time outside of
Yes.
12 to 3?
No. That time should give us enough time because we plan to set up a lot of the stuff the day before. Actually, the week or two before. But if we close down Central on the Clay side first, then we don't have to do the Walnut Street side until later.
So you're not going down Broadway to 241?
Yes, that we have to get that from the DOT, but we have to get permission. It looks better if we get consent from the board.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea to put it back on Main for Christmas anyway. I think it's Christmas Sunday. Yep. Y'all wanna make a motion?
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm still not understanding exactly.
Okay.
The festival is from 3 to 7,
Yes,
okay? If it's not only isolated on Broadway, don't you need other streets closed after 3 o'clock? if some of the festivals. could be
Oh, I see,
happening.
I see what you're saying. I was talking just for vendor setup. Yes, we would need them closed through 7. I understand what you're asking.
Okay, sorry,
That's why I'm sorry, that's why I'm at the top 3 to 7.
Gotcha.
My bad.
Gotcha. So with Walnut, your desire there is just to be closed. Walnut and Central closed from 12
To 3,
to 3.
Yeah.
To facilitate setup.
yes.
Then after 3 o'clock, what do you need closed?
We need, Walnut, Central, and Broadway.
Probably. Okay. So may we just go ahead and make a motion to close Walnut and Central as indicated on your highlighted map? And we'll make that part of the minutes
Perfect,
from 12 to 7.
perfect.
And then I know our chief of police, and I'm sure some other volunteers will probably help moving things around, but that empowers y'all to.
Yeah.
We can set up. And like I said, we will work with Michael to keep the business areas open the longest.
Okay.
So we can set up on the opposite sides of the street so that they can stay open as long as possible and not have hindering of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does that constitute you having made the motion?
So I'm making that motion, please.
Second.
You got it worded?
She'll work it out.
The owl knows.
Sure.
All
And
in
then just
favor?
put till 7.
Thank you for the map.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, we got Carolyn Whitfield for the Christmas committee, Christmas parade committee.
It's Christmas time, did y'all know?
Mm.
Not even July yet. I'm really not exactly, we just wanted to run some things by the board to mainly to, for ideas and suggestions, and hopefully that y'all will support it. The parade, of course, is the Pink Hill Christmas Parade, and always has been, and hopefully always will be. It's gonna be on December the 7th, same time. We don't, Susie Baker and Teresa Horn and Phyllis Bird and I got together and have been talking. We would love to be able to help with the Christmas parade. We think that the town did a great job, but, historically it was done by the professional business and professional club, and then the J.C.'s, and then the fire department. But if y'all ever listen to the sirens that go off, I think the fire department's pretty busy. They go off all the time, bless their hearts. But what we would like to do to be able to just take some of the load off, and also hopefully just, we want to get the businesses and organizations and churches involved, and we think that we'll have more time to reach out and just really kind of build it back up. And so we would like to start, of course, at H&H. Our vision is to move it back to the gym, the final, the awards thing, where our hope is to have more floats. We want to reach out to churches, organizations, and businesses in town to really build up the Miss Merry Christmas contestant stuff. And so, and of course have color guard, grand marshal, dignitaries at the front, and fire trucks.
Can we get bands back again,
And
like school
we're
band?
gonna try to get bands.
That makes a parade.
Rachel actually mentioned to me today that the junior high band, we're gonna reach out to junior high and high schools in the area. And that brings me to another part, is that we feel like that one reason we may not have had bands is, and I don't know, because I haven't been involved at all with the parade on helping it, so help put it together. But I do think that they're needing money for travel. So, that would be something that we want to try to do, and I know that, usually the floats and the Miss Merry Christmas, they pay a fee. I don't think churches pay, but usually the other floats do. We just need to look at all that, and we may need some startup money, and we have to figure out what we can offer.
We have it in the budget.
We got some of the budget for money to
Okay.
do stuff like that.
We would still want, of course, to do the money through the town, and maybe if the town hall would be available for drop off of applications, and then we would get that from John, just have a box, and we can then get the stuff we need. We definitely want the Pink Hill Volunteer Fire Department to continue to help, especially on the day of, with the logistics and line up and the moving the floats and all, getting that lined up and going through. And we also we would need to have the judges stand set up, and of course we would do that. I mentioned about the GMs, And we're really wanting to get local businesses, we're gonna try to get letters out to all the local businesses in Peak Hill and the surrounding area and seeing about, we were wondering about trying to get, donations or sponsorships and trying to figure out ways, we're open to any kind of suggestions of maybe doing a banner, fix kind of maybe a backdrop we had thought about for in the gym of the sponsors, and I thought that might be a huge expense. We don't want to spend the money on a banner. We want to put, so then we came up with maybe the idea of t-shirts, and then maybe all the fire department and the people helping set it up, get it lined up and all, they could have special t-shirts with sponsors on the back. Just, if you have any ideas, let us know what you're thinking about that. And I guess it's okay for us to ask for donations from the town for the Christmas parade. Is that okay? And they could just make the checks to Christmas parade fund or something.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what we're gonna do. You think of anything else?
We are gonna need a list of the businesses in town. That would be okay.
Y'all have a list? Do y'all have a?
There's a running list online, I know it, and I don't know the last time it's been updated, but it can be printed off,
I didn't know it
printed
was on
before.
there. Oops.
Do we have a,
We're not up to date on all this email stuff. I want a physical letter in their hand.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of churches, they have something you can hand to whoever does their announcements that gets put before the crowd's better.
But we just, our Pink Hill always had one of the best Christmas parades in the area, and we just want to continue that tradition
I think it's a good idea.
and do what we can. But I did feel like it's a lot. And like I said, the fire department does a lot, and the girls in the town hall do a lot all year, and we don't need to add to that. Try to help out.
I'm getting it back at the,
I mean, it's better than trying to, when we were trying to do it and we didn't know what we're doing, so anybody.
If anybody has any suggestions, or anybody that wants to help or wants to volunteer to help us help the town, let us know, because we would really, I know that the Winterfest has a lot going on, and I'm really glad that it's all in the same weekend again.
if you would check with, Jessica about the businesses list, she should have them all in that,
Okay.
in the system.
Like that.
Carolyn, I'm pretty sure the last time we were involved with the festival, the band's got $100
They did.
travel fee.
They did?
Yes.
Okay,
And that's,
And then the winning band got $150.
so y'all did give a prize to the best band?
Yeah, but they all received a travel fee,
Travel fee.
if I'm correct on that.
I know the last time I helped, that was,
Yeah, it was $100 per band to travel, and then the band that won was $150.
we're gonna start contacting them now.
Absolutely.
And we
that
thought
makes
we'd
a
love to
parade
get
and
it.
bands to me.
Yeah, and we'd love to get it like to have churches competing as floats and the organizations competing as floats. In other words, have the best church float, the best
Mhm.
business float, that. And just try to get as many floats in it as we can. Of course, the cars and the Shriners and all that will want to be part of it.
I do know that the
The farmers.
starting early won't hurt nothing, because there was a few people that we called and they were like, oh well,
Yes,
LaGrange
that will be
already
the
asked
past.
us. We would do it, and we normally would, but LaGrange asked us first, and it was on the same
What
day.
now?
In the past, the other
Other parades are on the
townships
same
reached
day.
out to 'em.
So right now it's the time to reach out. to
That's what I'm
those.
saying, start getting early, though, you can
Because we
start
didn't know any
catching
better,
before.
and then they already had commitments elsewhere by the time they heard from us. But
Oh, yeah, that's when we're trying to start. Thank you, though. Appreciate that.
All right, anybody, all right, that's everybody on that. Thank you. All right, we got to, an approval of the agenda for May 2025. Got a motion,
I moved to approve the agenda for May 2025.
got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we got, need a motion for the approval of the April 2025 minutes in your binders there. Meeting,
Make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Let's see, your finance reports is in your binders, those we've already been looking over.
we're 1 month behind on water.
Huh?
The water is 1 month behind.
1 month.
The other is
They
current.
Up to the size of 1 month. And water department, it's pretty much everything's doing, we do have, we're up for, put them on here, yeah, we got it on old business, we'll get to that, update on that. The other thing I don't have that I was gonna bring up is the forestry.
It's on the Old business.
Is it on old business too?
Yeah.
Okay,
He actually called me today. I don't know if
he called you. I
he
talked
spoke
to
with
him.
you about pushing it off.
Yeah, I'll bring that up when we get to old business then. So water department's pretty much everything doing all right, then I guess.
Yeah,
Other than
everything seems to be going real good.
We got fire department, Penny, have you got a report for
We
that?
do, so last meeting, there have been 7 EMS assignments, no vehicle accidents, no vehicle fires, 4 structure fires, 2 gas leaks, no fire alarms, 1 brush fire, and a service assignment, 2 of those for a total of 28 calls. And Chief Brett also asked me to remind you folks about Fireman's Day that is on Saturday, so please come out and support the fire department. Got some good food if you've not bought.
Just that.
So, yeah, this Saturday, if you've not bought a raffle ticket or whatever for that nice golf cart they're giving away, so please, I encourage you to do that.
Thank you, man.
They are $10.
We got,
You can do it online, Susan, as well as see it at the fireman.
all right, and the police department, Commissioner Bitfield.
Our office, thank you, Mayor. Our office continued to focus on traffic enforcement and did continue to submit to the governor's highway safety program. We also continue saturation patrol and random stationary radar to slow traffic in and out of town. Traffic safety will continue to be a priority with the increase of traffic accidents reported. We did set up for the Easter extravaganza, and the event did appear to be a huge success. Our office also assisted other agencies when available and did meet with the agents from the Secretary of State in reference to the upcoming changes to the vaping industry. Drug zones were patrolled with little traffic noted, business checks were met accordingly, and bank escorts continue to be a priority to provide safety for employees. Surveillance was added to areas of importance to cut down on any perceived illicit activity. Calls for service have picked up and all reports are current and submitted. We also work with probation and parole to help schedule community service to make sure hours were being met. We will continue to respond with fire and EMS to assure provider safety. House checks are being met when requested, and we urge all residents to contact our office if they will be out of town. We will continue to provide a safe community for all businesses and residents. And I'm not going to read through the list of everything they did, but it's a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mike.
Yes, sir.
Well, moving on to old business, we going into the water meter that we've been trying for 90 days. They're coming due. They come up and Pete dropped off his Deaver. And to get the system, that's something that I think we don't have to finalize and discuss it tonight, but it's it needs to be. I know we're working on the budget. That's something we need to approve before we get on the budget on it. If y'all want to do it, at least I'm at $142,000 to update everything, but it could fluctuate down. And when you were talking about it had to be advertised if it's over 90.
Doing bidding
We get more
threshold.
than we got bids. If they broke that down into like parks and then 2 different things, because there's really nobody. This is something new,
It's the total
just a total.
contract. There's
Total
applies,
contract.
yeah,
It applies, okay.
yeah. So you would have to do the
So that's
formal
what
bidding.
we'd have to do another advertisement for bidding on it.
You would have to do the formal bidding process.
I don't know if that's something, I mean, we got to update our meters because they're,
Everything we've heard, it's appropriate and needed.
yeah.
So I think we can get,
We just need to
help
get-
us with the bidding process.
Yeah,
Then we can decide on so we need to move on the advertising for bidding.
Mhm.
And you can go by this thing when you make it, okay?
Anna, do you need a motion for us to do that?
no.
No, okay.
You'll make a motion when you accept the bid.
Well, and I was gonna update us, I think we've talked about it before, but, that investment that we did on our pine, spray fields 25 years ago, is ready to be logged. We've got a guy from the Pine State Forestry Service. It could, potentially be some good, projected timber revenue, and they estimated between 60 to 65,000. This is thinning for the town, which would help offset some of your expenses on, that's what it was designed for, updating our systems. He called me the other day, I don't know if everybody's heard about it, but it's one of your pulp mills is shut down, and they only have one, so the lumber price right now are pretty cheap. He says if we wait a little while, because we're not really in a hurry. I think he's got with Cody several times about that when I think timber prices are gonna be going up, and that's the time to sell when they're high, not low. Right now, they're pretty low, so we can get more money out of the,
From what he told me, he was gonna be looking more towards, maybe doing something toward the end of the summer.
yeah.
But
I
he said
told
he'd
him we
keep
were-
in contact with you about that.
Yeah, he stayed in
Yeah.
contact with me, real nice guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy. And he's got a plan for, there's a new thing they're doing when they're reseeding, because they don't want, you can't clear cut the whole timber. It's
Yeah,
gotta have
they're planning on
absorption.
taking every third row of trees, because you can't cut everything, because you have to keep, and then they're gonna come back in the winter, whenever they do it, they'll come back in the winter time and replant the rows that they took out.
And they're talking about doing some hardwood, which will be a longer growth period, but, more payoff in the end. It'd be probably, 40 years instead of the 25 years, but that's the new thing is, hardwood is getting in the absorption, because whenever you're in the sprays, so that's some of the stuff that they'll get into later as they, map it out. But he says we got approximately 45 acres right now, on tax map and the plan total, that we can thin, which is, pretty excited to see that you get some return on that investment, from years ago, But, we'll keep up to date on that anyway. I just wanted to, let you know but Cody's been working with the guy. They got a plan, and he calls and he keeps in touch with me too, so. And we'd already accepted him as our thing anyway, so we don't have to do anything on that, do we? I'll just update it.
You've already accepted.
Yeah, this guy is the, tree guy. He gets his money out of what these timber he sells. It don't cost anything to town that way.
There'll be no
upfront cost. All right. New business. We've got the employee health insurance quotes. Let me look on those. And, as we talked a little bit about it in budgeting, we're currently paying $6,542 a month. And the NCLM is not going to be providing health insurance anymore, so we had to find some more companies, which, we got 3 quotes from, Blue Cross Blue Shield options, and it saved us quite a bit of money. It's $48.88 for the best one here, and then the cheapest one was $37.72, which the coverage was not as great, but the coverage that we got is pretty equal. It's actually better. That we really like is the $48.26 a month for 6 employees, which is a savings of what, $1,500 a month, over what we had before. But is it the League of Municipalities the one that's getting out of the health insurance? Yeah. It's the league's getting out, so we got to make a motion. We need just something we got to go ahead and vote on, isn't it? If y'all want to, now Lauren's recommending this. She's met with all of them, the R.E. Lee Associates out of Warsaw. Of course, I like to stay local, but Clint's is a little bit not as good a coverage on his. There's not that much difference in it. But it's kind of question mark on that one. He didn't really provide everything.
Middle one.
And then the
Middle
middle one,
one's significantly cheaper to get.
yeah, this one is. That the coverage is only, I think this guy, I don't like.
The two,
I'm paying 70%, 80%.
This one's 90, but this guy right here, he was.
the Cornerstone and Carnegie, they gave us a whole bunch of paperwork of all different options, and
This guy was real.
It was more information than I had time to go through, really. I tried to get it in there, and then I found out while I was in the middle of it that Clint hadn't even quoted the other stuff, and I've got to get that from him. So his is gonna go up when I can get quotes on the dental, the vision, the life. I didn't have the information.
Reason we like this is because the guy, the agent, is very good on this one here. And the way, that's the main reason on this one. There's still a significant savings, and it's actually the best premium. $1,000 deductible instead of 2,000. 15, these are 15, so that would go 1,000 there. And actually a little more, you get better. That's top of the line. If y'all want to look at these, this guy I wouldn't be crazy about, but this one here, I like this guy was really good, and of course Clint. I mean, I don't think how close he.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have to, tonight we need to vote on which plan.
Yeah, because it starts the fiscal year coming up.
We have one more meeting before it has to start on July 1.
If you want to
So
wait,
you can wait till the June meeting if you.
Yeah, we can do it if you want to get Clint's.
They've all told us that once you decide, I mean, they can instate it pretty quick. It won't take them long because they've already got the quote. You know what I mean? They've got all their information already.
Well, ought to be June 1st.
July 1st.
I wouldn't mind seeing what the rest of Clint's stuff is.
Yeah, I think it would be smarter to wait till we have all the information before we vote on it.
Yeah, I didn't realize I didn't have everything until it was too late to ask for it before the meeting, so that's my fault.
Still got time.
So we can table that until we get to the next meeting if you want to get
Mhm.
complete. Make sure Clint's got all his information on there. And see if how close, how much more goes up on his quote.
Yeah, I can. It'll give me some more time to get it right, cause I just ran out of time.
Okay. So we'll do that. We got time.
Yeah, no,
Okay. So we'll table that one for now. And it looks like we're on to Commissioner Fantini.
Good evening. My family and I have made some pretty big changes in our lives. We're actually moving to the beach. So, and that I can no longer serve as a commissioner of the town. I've had a pleasure of serving with every one of you and serving for every one of you. But as of tonight, I must resign my position. And I do that with regret because I love what I've done. And I appreciate everybody that has given support in everything that we've done. While I tender my resignation tonight, I suggest that Brandon Marshburn be pulled up to take my spot. That would be my suggestion, but it is up to the board because after I resign, I'm no longer part of the board. But I need you to vote, make a motion to accept my resignation tonight. I will tell you that our house is sold and Tim and June will be gone. So I'm sorry I'm emotional, but I love what I did and I appreciate
We'll be
it.
seeing you today.
Yeah, I'll be around. We'll be around. We have great friends here, so. But it was a huge decision. But we did it. I asked you to vote to accept my resignation tonight, effective today. I've already cleared with the Board of Elections. I've signed out my paperwork with them, so.
so you're telling us we don't have an option?
You cannot, but the problem is somebody will complain that I no longer live here and I can no longer sit on this board, so you can deal with the outfall. Hopefully we can move on where somebody can come and, my position is due for election in November anyway, so someone's gonna have to run for that position in November. But I believe we can do it seamlessly. Have somebody that's involved in the community as well.
Well, we have a motion to accept Commissioner Fantini's resignation.
I'll make a motion to accept, Commissioner Fantini's resignation effective this evening.
Second. All in favor? As we already
Discussion.
discussed it.
Thank you, Commissioner Fantini, thank you, Pete. Been some exciting times and some thankfully boring times. Your love for our community, far outstrips how long you've been a member of it. You will be remembered when when you've left it. I'm sorry my neighborhood, I'm sure the new neighbor will be a great guy, but I will miss having you and your sweet family as neighbors. So, good luck, God bless.
Thank you. Norris. Yours. That's yours. I just say, oh yeah, I'll be missing Petey now. Put up a good fight. We got some changes, I think, for the good. Sometimes that's what it takes to get change. And I know it took a toll on mentally, on family, and all. I've been there, done that. But we appreciate your service, friendship. We'll be seeing. And
Gotta take a vote.
gotta take a vote.
All in favor, aye? Aye.
I ain't got no votes. On that, we gotta make a motion, if that's up to y'all to, you'll make a motion to bring up, Brandon Marston as a
Do we
replacement
do that now?
to his spot.
Anna?
You can, if you want to.
How do we do that?
Make a motion to appoint Brandon Marshburn to the
And
vacancy.
then you have to get a second, but I think I can be the, so you say I can, you saying that?
If there's a tie,
If there's a tie.
yeah. Or if there's no second, then the motion dies.
Make a motion to invite Mr. Brandon Marshburn to join the board as to take Commissioner Fantini's spot.
Second that motion.
All right. A motion, aye, all, everybody else, aye, everybody's aye. We need to, swear him in, though.
Should do it at June meeting.
Yeah, did it.
You go to the June meeting, we'll swear you in on the June meeting and get our stuff there. Welcome aboard there, Brandon.
Gotta bring your ladies to the June meeting.
Pete, I can't imagine not loving living at the beach, but you always come home.
Oh, we'll be here. We got plenty of friends here. We'll be here for your festivals and all that.
Good, then I'll put you down as volunteer.
Why not?
All right, looks like we're at the end of the line there. We'll get a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Motion is carries. Let's adjourn. Thank y'all for coming.
Yeah, it's just that it just poured. It is so pouring.
You want to?
Talking about rain.
Oh, check on the video really contract.
Yeah, she sent me some stuff. My dad passed away this past month, so I had resigned the office about 2 weeks, and then my husband's grandma passed away a week later. So, but I did read it. I don't think you're gonna get out of it. I'll be happy to write him a letter with all the issues we have with them. But from what I saw, you've got about 4 more years left.
Still sure.
Oh, okay, so now
So,
What do you got written?
if there was no way out, you have to just give them a 90 days notice. We just can't make sure we don't.
They said they have 30 days to remedy problems.
They have 30 days to remedy problems. They do. Well, 30 days.
Always written for the person that.
Yeah.
It's not written for the.
No.
It's always going,
There's no-
contract is always
there's
going
no
way
way
out.
out.
Thank you.
Lauren,
Yes.
I'm sending an email tomorrow about,
see you at the beach.
Oh, no,
meeting.
we've started.
Yes.
Let me go. All right, go sister.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
Oh,
You're
How's everything
playing.
going your way? In Canton Lake?
I just got back last night at like 2 o'clock.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, good luck with it.
It's been a rough month in our household, so.
Thank you for supporting.
Yes, no, thank you.
When's your, how old was your father?
And thank you for the heads up on the, I know you could buy tickets online.
3 years old?
For the firefighters.
What in the world? Did he have cancer? Just,
Just went to sleep and didn't wake up.
sorry to hear that. Young.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
You mean he didn't have no, he just went to sleep?
Yeah, just went to sleep.
That's like Donnie when he passed, he just went to sleep and wake up. 40. How long ago has it been, a month?
Not even a month. He died April 21st.
Hmm.
And then my husband's grandma died
Yeah,
7
Shirley,
days
I
later.
saw her.
Shirley died 7 days later. Yeah.
Huh.
Yes. So yes.
Been a rough month.
Because we've had a
Needed to unwind. Everybody go, like, just
my
license.
sister and my mom. My brother didn't go.
You think we can work, we need to get that out for, I guess we just advertise it.
Stiller,
It was still
Stiller
hard.
Baby's daddy.
And we need to advertise,
Recent years.
we need to advertise that with Free Press or just anywhere, like on our line, on our website.
Do it on the website. There's other ways to do it.
Like, I didn't know if we had to do it like in 2 weeks for, on the free, or like on that, what ain't got a Free Press anymore.
The only advertisements I've ever had to do, it like they told me what to say, legal ads, and then I had to send it in. And yeah. So I don't know a whole lot about it. I'll help you with it. I just googled and found a sample one because I don't typically do the request for bids, but I can help you with it.
Okay.
So I found one from Durham. Can I have this? Or is this? Do you need this? That's the first time I've ever
Just
seen
make
it.
copies
But I
out,
can
because
make.
I need
Yeah, will you make a copy of it?
make copies of it, and
How many copies would you like?
Make one for you and one
Or you
for
want to email it to me?
Keith. Keeks in the town.
Okay, that sounds good.
I got one, the original one he gave, but it's a little bit different
Okay,
price.
I'm gonna go.
Okay. I see him every now and then. Matter of fact, last time I saw him, he was aggravating Weaver. I was out walking and they were at the store.
Shut up. I retired and. 2 votes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike, don't worry about the treatment now. Speed and speed.
You got so much.